often have on the programme talking about things. She's an American political commentator. Scottie, good morning to you, and thank you for staying up and bringing this to us. Did Trump get this one right? Did he calculate right by not attending the debate?
Well, good morning. And Trump was known during the 2016 campaign of everything he did was unprecedented. And this is the first time in history that a candidate who was not on the stage still won the debate. And we saw that last night when you had the 8 Republican nominees kind of acting like what we see in Parliament every time that there's a hot button issue. That was sort of the best way I could compare to what I saw in the debate last night with some of the debates that I've seen on the parliamentary floor. Maybe there might have even been more decorum. There might have been more respect on Parliament than what we saw last night on the Republican stage. But Donald Trump had it right. And the truth is, he can thank the Democrats for this, because when you have 91 counts that you are facing across the 8 various cases that have been brought against him from very politically motivated DAs, you really can't go onto a stage like that and answer questions that are not scripted, that are not pre-prepared, for fear of actually perjuring yourself or damaging your own case that you're going to have to prepare to defend over the next few months while on the campaign trail.
Do you think there is a danger that Trump is a bit complacent in all of this? Yes, he's far ahead in the polls, but I'm led to believe that his polls he's actually falling in the polls relative to where he was. We know that straight after the debate, he's heading to Georgia today to be arrested. We're expected to see a mugshot. How long do you think he can hold this line?
Well, it's such a great lead. I think we're looking at like 20 to 30 percentage points, depending on which poll that you're looking at. And I'm not one that really goes by polls, but there's no doubt that the momentum in the Republican Party is behind Donald Trump by far. And last night did not persuade any of the other voters or a Trump supporter on changing their opinion for who they were going to support. If anything, it might have shifted a little bit about whether you gained or lost respect for the other 8 candidates. But if you're a Trump supporter, you're still standing behind Donald Trump after last night. And when you compare the numbers, and we'll get the ratings for what the Fox debate had, but when you're comparing that compared to the 80.1 million views that Donald Trump and Tucker Carlson's interview received on Elon Musk platform, you have to see the momentum still behind Donald Trump. And when he has built his whole facade over the last 8 years based on the fact that he's been targeted, that there's fake news, this is still winning in his camp. And people are seeing this continued demonization of him and this target by the DOJ as saying, you know what, he's doing this battle not because of himself, but he's doing this because of what I stand for. And that's why they're targeting him. So I have to continue to support him, because if I don't, then they're going to come after me next. So yes, all of these continued DOJ battles he's having, as long as he continues to win, only builds his case. And some people here in America do believe that if he is officially arrested, ever put into jail, that will only build his case and he'll be elected president automatically off of this.
Scottie Nell, it's amazing to hear you say that, because I know it's true. I know exactly. I believe everything that you're saying there. But in the UK, we would look, or in Ireland, if this was a politician that had a mugshot of being arrested, game over. That would be the absolute end. They would have to leave the stage in complete disgrace. It is fascinating that this will actually enhance Trump's whole position here.
If he was being prosecuted for true crimes that when you're looking at the rampage of crime that's been going on here in the United States, if you're looking at what's going on with the Biden family and Hunter Biden that he's getting dismissed with, if you're looking at even these DAs like in Atlanta, where she just let somebody out on $50,000 bond for 3 murders, and yet here you're looking at Donald Trump at a $200,000, $300,000 bond that he was issued. If you were seeing it being treated fairly, then I'd say you're right. There would be game over. But every single one of these cases against him are obviously coming from somebody who is a political opponent, who is trying to gain fame within the Democratic Party, make their star rise. And so therefore it kind of dismisses any sort of justification that any of these crimes that they're trying to prosecute Trump for as actually being legit and nothing less than a targeted witch hunt.
Except it's incredibly damaging to the institutions of the United States of America, the leaders of the free world. If you're saying that every single institution is partisan, that there's no legitimacy to any of these, basically you're saying there's no law and order, that you can challenge everything, that you're above the law if it doesn't agree with your politics. And that creates the kind of situations that we saw, arguably, on Capitol Hill, January the 6th. It's a very dangerous position to take, don't you think?
It's a dangerous position, but unfortunately, it's ignoring the fact that partisanship has taken over every aspect of American political life and the election process that has gotten us to this point today. Let's just remember, America is still a young democracy compared to the rest of the world. We're in the teenage phase of life, trying to figure out what works and what doesn't. We don't have the hundreds of years like Great Britain does to figure out exactly how things work. So in that phase, when you're looking at it, yes, this is why a lot of the founding fathers of America said it's a democracy as long as you keep it. And so you look at everything and it's not that it's necessarily dangerous. It's dangerous if we don't call it out for now, because once again, we're on this slippery slope continuing where we have seen in the past the IRS target individual citizens. We've seen the DOJ go after people that are different of their beliefs, that have rated pro-life houses. So if we don't stand up and speak for this now and call it out for what it is, then we're only going to continue down that slope. And in this case, as we saw yesterday with, I think it was the 9 different individuals that have been listed alongside Donald Trump in the case in Atlanta, they are smiling. These are lawyers who were just doing their job and they're being prosecuted. That right there just shows how corrupt our system, our justice system, has become. And oddly enough, this has been a claim that the Democrats have been making, many Democrat supporters, for years in regards to other social justices in the United States. Now, the Republicans are having to experience it themselves.
Scottie Nell, I don't know if people agree with you or not, but I'll tell you, your enthusiasm is absolutely contagious. You're what every breakfast show needs. You would wake up the country absolutely anywhere. And I need to ask you something. Are you Scottie Nell? Or are you Scottie Nell Hughes?
I am Scottie Nell Hughes because just like you are on probably every social media platform this day and age, if you don't add, my mother was a feminist and I live in the South, so it's mandatory that I have a double name so people can know that I am 100% female.
I'm calling you Scottie Nell when you're actually Scottie.
Well, I'm not offended. How about that?
Well, that's very... You could be. You're contagious. That's what you are. I'd say you're absolutely contagious. Always a pleasure having you on. Thank you very much indeed. Appreciate it, Scottie.